the sacrifice of 2,000 years. The Romans came, the Vikings too. So why would we be afraid of you?
Yay! Brilliant! Too right, mate.
Now mark my words, and mark them well. It was 1066 when we last fell. When it comes to a fight, we hate to lose. So respect our men and women, or leave. You choose.
Yay! Well done, Simon.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your support.
Well done, lad.
I just want to say Simon is a veteran who's actually fought the enemy, he's close to the enemy, and he has killed the enemy. I just want to thank the people of Scotland for inviting us to come here. We're not here as an invading force, we're here because we're invited by veterans and football fans and the people of Scotland, and we salute you. We salute you.
Well
we salute the brave people that invited us, because I want to tell you something. It takes bravery to stand here when you're vilified and when you're called all sorts of things that you're not. We are not fascists. We are not racists. We are the real people. We are the forgotten people. We are the people of this great United Kingdom, and we should be proud of it. But why are we here? Why are we here? We're here because there have been attacks on our people. There have been attacks on our people since the summer. Little girls have been blown to bits. Police officers and veterans have been stabbed to death. And people socialising on a Saturday night, women out with their husbands, were stabbed in the head and had their throats cut. That is why we are here, and we will stand here until the job is done. And friends, I want to say something else. The fight we're in today is a fight for freedom, because our freedoms have been eroded. When you stand at these demos, you'll be slandered by that rabble over there. They will say all sorts of things about you. They are trying to take away and steal your freedom of speech. We must not let them take our freedom of speech. And there's men standing here. There's men standing here. Asian men. Men from Bangladesh. Men from India. And those men are under threat of death. And why are they under threat of death? Because they had the audacity to say that Islam is not true, and their lives are threatened because of that. And the Muslim extremists call them apostates, and they threaten them with death and serious injury. And it's the job of this great country to protect our Bangladeshi friends, our Pakistani friends, our Somali friends from these people that would harm them and that would kill them. I want to tell you something, friends. Our civilization is under threat. It's under more threat than it's been under since 1940s. In the 1940s, we fought fascism and we fought Nazism, and today we're fighting Islamic fascism, and we're fighting the fascists from the far left. Because fascists want to silence freedom of speech, and that's what they want to do. Friends, there's a great army of darkness has been gathering in this land for the past 40 years. It's been growing slowly and silently, and that great army of darkness has a plan for this country, and that plan is to impose Sharia law on the United Kingdom. It's not going to happen! Never, never, never! It's not going to happen! Islamist terror gangs have been raping our children, raping little girls. That must be stopped. Those people need to be locked up the police need to take it seriously and arrest the grooming gangs and throw away the key. Jihadists returning from fighting, or so-called returning from Syria, where they've been murdering and slaughtering men, women and children. Those jihadists, when they return to the United Kingdom, what does the government want to do? The government wants to give them council houses. The government wants to give them jobs. I wonder where they're going to be employed. Are they going to give them jobs in airports? Airport security? It's ridiculous. When those jihadists return from Iraq and Syria, they should be arrested. They should be tried for war crimes. And they should be tried for treason. And I want to say something about the people who are speaking out against Islamic terrorists. You see, we're standing against terrorism. That's what our organisation is called. It's called Veterans Against Terrorism. Our stand is against all terrorism. Whatever colour, creed it comes from, we're against all terrorism. But men, brave men, that have stood against Islamic fascism for the last 7 and 8 years, their lives are under threat. They're under death threats. They're walking around in bulletproof vests. Our country has a duty to protect anybody that speaks out against Islamic fascism. And I want to finish saying this. Our government gives us advice on what to do when there's a terrorist attack. And our government tells us that we should run.
Never run! Never!
We should hide.
Never!
We should tell.
Never!
That's what school children do. I tell you something, real men stand, fight and protect. And friends, that's what you're doing today. You're taking your stand. This is part of the battle against the Islamisation of the United Kingdom. That's part of what we're standing for today. And you can be proud of yourselves. And I want to tell you something. When your grandchildren say to you, what did you do in the battle against the jihadists? You can say, I stood, I fought, and I protected. I'm now going to hand you over to my good friend, Mufassal Islam. Mufassal is of a Bangladeshi origin. He's a great guy. Give him a big round of applause. He's going to speak to you now.
A big thank you for the organizers. If you, the doubters, if you do not see people of all races, all colors gathered here against terrorism, then you are colorblind. We are here to say that we stand united against Islamist terrorism. If you don't see my color, then you are colorblind. If you don't see my race, then you are race blind. I can tell you, my friends, I have spread Islam all over the years, for the last 35 years, every part of the globe. And I would love to believe this terrorism has nothing to do with Islam. I cannot hate Muslims. My mother is a devout Muslim. My sisters are devout Muslims. But they won't talk to me because I left Islam. My friends, why should I see my friends Mumit, my friends Nizam, my friends Nurul, my friend Arif down there being ostracized, being subjected to hatred every single day? Why should I see, even in the living in the UK, we have to look over our shoulders in case we get shot, in case we get hate abuses, in case we get threatened. Is that what we came from? No. We can tell you, my friends, Islam is not a religion of peace. It is not. And if you believe it's a religion of peace, come and debate with us ex-Muslims. Come and we'll show you. Why should we be afraid of freedom of speech? Why should we be ashamed of freedom of speech? I became a British citizen more than 2 decades ago. When I became a British citizen, I took an oath. I took an oath. I took an oath that I will not let this country down, and I will live up to my oath with the last drop of my blood. And I will debate with you in Bengali, in Hindi, in English, in Arabic. Bring it on! I will show the book to your face. And I can tell you, my friends, that here, even in Islamists are hiding in amongst us. And it's not untrue. And they are using social media just like Twitter, Facebook, to send harasses and abuses and threats to us every single day, every single hour. And there are people, Islamists, I can tell you, Islamist sympathizers, amongst the people who talk about racial equality. I can assure you of that. Now, my friends, if you have any doubt, then look at our faces, look at our lives. We are ostracized, even in this country. And there are organizations and there are shops by our fellow migrants who say, if you hang out with Mufassil Islam, we are not selling products to you. How did you like that? Is that a lie? Definitely not. And there are places here where there are women hiding who are ex-Muslims, and they are being attacked, they are being abused, they are being sent to hospital simply because they hang out with these Muslims. And if you have any doubt, I'm telling you again, look at the lives of the people who are suffering from all over the world because of Islamist terrorism. This has everything to do with Islam. Everything to do with Islam. And my friends, thank you for having us here. And we can assure you that we are suffering, and our government needs to bring in special laws to protect ex-Muslims like us. Enough is enough. Thank you, my friends. Thank you very much.
Just come here, just open your coat, the Fassel has to wear a bulletproof vest when he does this because he's under serious death threat from Islamic terrorists who want to kill him for the stand he is taking for the British people. Give this man a round of applause. Yeah, shake his hand. He is one of the bravest men I know. He is a hero. He is a modern British hero.
Yes.
And next we're going to have another modern British hero, my good friend Shazia Hobbs.
I'm finding it hard to believe that I live in a country that rewards terrorists, people who went into a concert and killed our children, people who went to Raqqa and raped Yazidi girls and women, people who spat at our soldiers and burnt our poppies, people who hate our country but love our money, people who hate everything we stand for.
Yeah, what they're doing here.
This is a message for you, Theresa May. Your message to your citizens was run, hide and tell. Well, I'm telling you, you better run these terrorists out of our country. Don't hide the fact that the ideology behind this is Islam. And tell us we are out of the EU and the laws that allow these traitors to be treated better than the soldiers who give up their lives to protect us. I've also got a message for the traitors and all of you that support them. It's time for all of you to leave our island.
Next we're going to have Tony Bugle, and Tony Bugle is going to talk about the dangers of Sharia law.
She's going to cover many things. So let me first say, before I say anything, I met the ex-Muslims last night for the first time, sat down and talked to them, and I want to actually applaud your bravery, your courage, that standing here today, knowing that people want them dead, is an amazing thing. So I want everybody, please, put your hands together and tell these people, you stand with them. They are not alone, not anymore. We will always give you a voice where others seek to remove it. So I wrote a speech on purpose. There's a reason for it. I didn't want to leave any details unturned. And I didn't want to give the fascist left, who think that they can dictate and tell us that we have no voice. We do have a voice. We will use it. So let me start. I hear people tell me all the time, they tell me everything they're against. Nobody ever seems to be able to tell me what they're for. So I want to tell you what I stand for. I am for equality and fairness for everyone. And one law for all. I am for right over wrong and not left over right. I am for our culture and history being something that we value instead of belittle. I am for our ancient hard-won rights such as freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and most importantly, the right to agree to disagree without it resulting in violence. Most importantly, we have a right to hold our government to account for allowing extremism to flourish in our great country. Because of their actions, we have seen atrocious attacks such as the London 7/7 bombings in 2004, when 4 Islamist extremist suicide bombers detonated bombs on 3 underground trains and a double-decker bus. Can somebody take that top sheet for me, please? Sorry, I've got to get somebody now to be my little man for me. 56 people were killed and 700 were injured. In June 2007, 2 car bombs packed with petrol, gas cylinders and nails were discovered close to nightclubs in central London in an Al-Qaeda-inspired plot. Luckily, the devices failed to ignite and most people are unaware of it. Also in June 2007, the glass doors of Glasgow Airport terminal were rammed and an attempt was made to set it on fire. The 2 perpetrators were Islamist extremists. In May 2008, a Muslim convert tried to detonate a bomb in a toilet cafe in Exeter, injuring himself. No one else was hurt, but again, most people are unaware of this. In April 2013, Pavlo Lapshin, a Ukrainian exchange student with clear mental health issues, stabbed to death Mohammed Salim just 5 days after arriving here. It seems a Ukrainian targeted his victim because he was Muslim. And I actually do not agree with that, and I do not think that's acceptable.
That's right.
In May 2013, Lee Rigby, please remember that man. Never forget Lee Rigby. Never, ever forget Lee Rigby. He was brutally murdered by 2 Islamist extremists in Woolwich. That man was brutally butchered outside of a primary school. Don't forget that either. Children had to witness that.
We'll never forget.
Good man. In December 2015, 3 people were stabbed in Leytonstone Tube Station, East London, by an Islamist attacker shouting, "This is for Syria." Can you take that page, please, darling? Now, I told you I want details. I'll give you facts, not fiction. I'll leave the fiction to the left. In June 2016, MP Joe Cox was murdered outside the library in Birstall, West Yorkshire. And yes, we condemn that too. In March 2017, Islamist convert Khalid Massoud drove a car into pedestrians on Westminster Bridge, killing 4 innocent people and maiming 20 others. He then crashed into the perimeter of the Palace of Westminster and stabbed a brave serving police officer to death. I gave a speech on behalf of PC Palmer, another hero gone because he saved lives by giving his own. Please don't forget PC Palmer either. In May 2017, we saw the horrific attack in Manchester at the Ariana Grande concert, where Islamist terrorists killed 22 and injured 250. One of them was an 8-year-old little girl wanting to enjoy a pop concert. It's music, it's our right. How dare you? How dare you target our children? In June 2017, there was a van ramming and stabbing at London Bridge and Borough Market, where the FLA laid wreaths in memory. 3 Islamist terrorists killed 8 people and injured dozens more. This September, September, a bucket bomb was set off on the tube stations at Parsons Green. 22 people were injured. These are just the ones that I can think of, but I know there were a lot more than this. I know we have friends all over Europe. Attacks take place there on a daily basis. It is in France, Spain, Germany, Belgium, Sweden. In fact, wherever Islamic terrorism is, there is fear and terror. I think that tells you everything you need to know on that. The government's refusal to listen to the working class man and woman is why political extremism has been allowed to flourish in my great country. Can you take that last page, please, Diane? Bear with me, folks. I'll try not to bore you for too much longer.
No, you're doing brilliant.
Besides the terror attacks, which is primarily why we are here, there is the mass grooming of girls on an industrial scale. 74 towns and cities where girls are targeted because of their race. That is racism. Stand up to that, the left. Stand up to that racism. 1,400 girls in one town. Just one town. And I've been there, and it is desperate. Those girls are still abandoned. They're still ignored. There was 500 in Oxford, 600 in Birmingham. I could go on. Trust me, I could go on. These are all of our children. All of our children. And it has to stop. Political correctness shackles our police and makes them unable to do their job equally and fairly for all, without fear or favour. And that puts our police in danger on the front line. They are our officers. I am, believe it or not, you're all going to hate me for this, I'm a proud feminist. I am not a femi-fascist. I leave that to the left. The establishment feminists do not say a single word, and that includes anything about Sharia law, where Muslim women are abused every single day. Enforcement of Sharia law. Over 100 Sharia law courts operate in our country. Women are being bastardised. When they are not abusing our children, the extremists are radicalising them and creating a new generation of terrorists. We must protect all of our children, no matter what. They are the future. And what future do we face if we fail them? Sadiq Khan, the cowardly mayor of London, disgraced his position by stating that terror is part and parcel of living in a big city. It should never be part and parcel of any city, full stop. We must make the government carry their shame for allowing extremism to flourish and run through this country like a rabid dog. We are tired of being ignored. The out-of-touch political elite must protect this country and all of its people. What will they do to protect it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a sodding thing.
When are you going to do something?
No more.
Please bear with me.
Shut up.
What will they do to protect? I am louder than you, I am bigger than you, and I am braver than you. What will they do to protect those who say no more? Those who say enough is enough. Will they act? We will not live in silence. We have been let down and abandoned by our weak government, but no more. We the people demand that the government acts now. We must have three things. We must have faith in the people, have hope for the future, and have a love of your country. We the people have a right to feel safe and secure in the knowledge that we are protected, because this is our basic human right. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry I took up your time.
Well, hot off the press, a Royal Marine Commando, a true hero of this country, put a note in my hand about that rabble over there, the so-called stand up to racism. And this is what he said in his little note that he put in my hand. He said to the counter demo, stand up to racism, or whatever they call themselves, if you're not